Well, here's a quick update. After Brian joined us live from Cairo last night, the television studios he was reporting from were smashed to pieces by angry mobs. They've all but successfully prevented journalists from broadcasting live out of the city. Well, we caught up with Brian by telephone to check on the mood there tonight.
Well, Anton, a big protest is planned here today, another day of protest. It's extremely tense. The anti-government protesters have called for a mass demonstration. They've dubbed it the departure demo because they're hoping that one final push will force President Mubarak to flee. There's a vastly increased military presence here today. It's early morning and soldiers seem to, there's a limit to what we can actually see, but soldiers seem to have taken up positions all around Tahrir Square and on the roads leading up to it, presumably to stop the protesters from fanning out so that they contain the area, but hopefully also to stop the pro-Mubarak forces from getting near to the square to launch what would be a third day of pitched battles. The only people who don't seem to be nervous here are the thousands of anti-government protesters who've been defiantly remaining in Tahrir Square despite the violence that's been meted out against them. It's very quiet here at the moment, but as I've said, it's very early in the morning and it really could be, and we're worried that it is just the calm before the storm.
Well, speaking of the military, which could play a crucial role in helping resolve this crisis, they've repeated reassurances that they won't open fire on either side, but wouldn't that put them in a really tough position?
They're in a really difficult situation. They said they don't want to shoot on the people, but in a sense, they're leaving that vacuum that allows this situation, and it really does look like a civil war at times, just to continue. I mean, our fear is that something's got to give soon, because this can't continue. Egypt needs to get back to some sort of normalcy. The protests here have been costing the government billions, so something's got to give. Some decisive measure has got to be taken, and maybe today we'll find out just exactly what the plan is.
Well, as we heard on the news last night, Brian, you had a particularly fraught day yesterday. Can you give us an idea of how difficult conditions are there from a reporting point of view?
Difficult. They're really almost impossible. We're basically holed up in our hotel. We're unable to go outside, and at risk of being thrown out of the hotel, we've been told that we can't stand on the balconies. We've got to keep our windows shut, and under no circumstances are we allowed to film from the balcony. Some of the balconies overlook Tahrir Square. Staff here at our hotel are extremely worried that the hotel is being targeted. We saw people looking up in binoculars at us yesterday. Because of the presence of us here, they feel that they might be a target. And yesterday they came to our rooms and confiscated all our cameras. My cameraman, Ryan Sheridan, had his camera taken whilst he wasn't in the room. He thought it had been stolen, but it's just been taken away by the hotel. Some anti-government forces are trying to whip up antagonism towards the media, claiming that we're in some way involved in these protests.
OK, well, stay safe, both of you. That's Brian Thompson reporting from Cairo.